In this lesson or tutorial, we're going to dive a little deeper into the K-12 education section of UEN. So I'm back here on the home page, uen.org. Now I'm going to go into the K-12 education section. Alright, so as we get moving around, you can see some great stuff that's in here. Number one of my favorites, is the apps for EDU search. This shows you some of the apps for mobile devices that have been kind of vetted by the people at UEN, and so we get an idea of what they do and if they're worth our time. There are also some tools here that we can use. Now this is if you have a My UEN account, which I haven't shown to you yet, but they will enable you to create lesson plans and rubrics here online through UEN system, save them here, make them accessible from your UEN website, etc. So that's kind of lovely. You can also create kind of mini web quests on here, little activities that your students can complete. You give them an introduction, you give them some websites to go to, questions to answer while they're there, things like that. So that's kind of a nice little utility for building a web activity for your students to complete. You can also create a virtual tour, which is basically a list of websites that your students could go to. And there's some tutorials here as well. If you're planning on teaching early childhood, there's a great version of the Pioneer Library that's specifically for preschoolers here. So take some time and explore that. And then there's a link here to eMedia, which is something that we're going to be exploring later. Can't even tell you, look at all these resources that are on here. All of these can be expanded too. Different websites you can go to for lesson plans. Different websites you can go to for research and things like that. Okay, history majors and social studies teachers, please take note of the American Memory Project, Teaching with the Library of Congress, etc. There are really some spectacular things in here. There are Utah resources, those of you who are planning on teaching 4th grade or 7th grade and will be needing to teach Utah history. Holy cow, there you go. All right. It goes on and on. I can't even tell you how many things are in here. For those of you who want money, there you go. There's some grant opportunities for you, okay? So, great stuff. We're going to go into an area right now, which is the assessment rubrics. So if you want to find a rubric for an assignment for your students rather than make it yourself, or maybe you just need some ideas for different ways to assess your students than what you've been doing, let me go back and show you that path again. So I'm here on K-12 education. I'm going to click on assessment rubrics over here on the left. And that gives me rubrics that other teachers have created and made available through UEN. So any of these that go along with the lessons that I'm teaching or the types of projects I'd like my students to do, I can come in here and take a look at the rubrics these teachers have created. So this could be a really good resource if you just need a rubric that you want to steal, or if you want a jumping off point for a rubric that you want to create yourself. So notice it opened in a new tab, so I'm going to go close the old tab, and that's how you find a rubric here in UEN.